been getting a lot of feedback lately about my unit interface. A lot of people seem to like its minimalistic look and want to know how to set it up for themselves. In this video, I'm going to show you all the add-ons you need to install, how to set them up, and also some nifty in-game macros you can use to quickly switch profiles on the fly. All you need to do is follow along with me and you'll be able to make your UI look exactly like mine. And if you don't want to do this yourself, I've also made it possible to purchase my UI files through my online shop. So you can simply download the files and paste them into your WoW directory. Just click the timestamp below to see exactly how that works. The add-ons that I use to set up my UI are Shadowed Unit Frames, Dominos, Plate and Nameplates, Details, and SexyMap. And you can find links to all of these in the description, or you can just search for them in CurseForge. The Blizzard unit frames really suck. To sort this out, I use Shadowed Unit Frames. To enter the Shadowed Unit Frames options, just type /SUF in game. If you like, you can now uncheck the Lock Frames box and manually move the frames around and place them where you want them. But for those of you who want it to look exactly like mine, I'm going to quickly go through every setting so you can copy what I have. Just pause the video on each page so you don't miss anything. And if I don't show you a page, that means I left it as default. Blizzard action bars really suck. It takes up way too much space and it's really ugly. To sort this out, I use the Dominos add-on. Now when you first install it, it's going to look like this. And I know it looks a mess, but don't worry, we can sort that out. To enter the Dominos editor, just click on the domino on your minimap. You're now going to see that all the Dominos bars are in blue, and you can grab them and move them around with the left mouse button. Now I put alerts and roles up here. And when we put them close together, they stick together and then move as one. And this is a really handy function when setting up your bars. You can make sure this setting is active by right-clicking on the domino button and checking the sticky bars in the menu. While we're here, see that the override action bar is set to 1 by default. This is the bar that will change to vehicle controls during an event. So if you want it to be on another bar, change it here. For our bags, we can uncheck this and we'll have just one bag on display. And then we can change the size by moving this slider. I can change my menu bar to 2 columns of 6 by sliding the column bar. Now let's set up the sidebar. We'll start from the top, bar number 14, and change it to 3 columns and then drop the scale down to 85. And then we're going to place it down the bottom right of the screen. Then we're going to do the same for bar 13, then 12, and 11, and then finally 10, and it should look like this. I then get bar 9 and slide the scale right down to minimum, and then I put it here at the top of the screen, and then the same for bars 8, 7, 6 and 5. Now I want to set up my main bars, which are bars 1, 2, 3 and 4. First of all, I drag them all out of the way, and then set the column to action bar 1 to 6. I then drag it down to the center line, and the bar will stick in place. Now I can slowly drag the scale down until my bar lines up with my unit frame. And now you can see that's at a scale of 86. Now I get bar 2, set it to 6 columns, scale 86, and stick it to the underside of bar 1. I then do bar 3 and put it to the right side of bar 1, and then finally bar 4 and put it in the gap. The last thing to resize is the XP bar, so just adjust the width, height and scale until it fits nicely. and then I put my bags here and my menu here. My cast bar goes just above my unit frames, and then I put my pet action bar to 5 columns and put it to the left. Then I stick my totem bar on top and resize it to fit. The possess bar just above the cast bar, and that's all the bars sized and repositioned. Now we need to save it to a profile. So right click the domino, click on profiles and give it a name. Now I call this profile all shown, and I suggest that you do the same. Then click OK, and now click copy from wherever your first profile was. Mine was called new setup because I named it that for the video, but yours will be the name of the class of your character. Now repeat that again, but this time call it all hidden. Click OK and copy from all shown. Now this is where it gets really cool. What we can do with these bars is change the opacity. So if I right click on the menu bar and click fade in and then drag the faded opacity all the way down to 0, the menu bar will only be displayed when I hover over it, which is great because it's ugly. So now we can do the same with the bag icon and all of these action bars up top. With all of these sidebars, I set the faded opacity to 20, and as you can see, it hides them just enough to make it look clean. But we haven't finished yet. I also want to get rid of all of this down here, so I'm going to move them out of the way, rescale them to minimum, and then hide them up here at the top of the screen. Then I'm going to click the Advanced tab and click Enable Click-Through on each of the 4 action bars, so I don't accidentally click something when I'm gaming. Then finally, drop the faded opacity down to 0 on each of the bars. What we want to do now is create these 2 macros and put them onto our sidebar. We can now use these macros to quickly show and hide our action bars as we play. To keybind, have your action bar shown, right click on the domino and click Bind Keys. You can now delete any existing binds by hovering over and clicking Escape, and then you can rebind by hovering over and pressing the button you want to bind it to. The last thing you need to know with Dominos is if you have a class that changes form or stance, like a druid, warrior or rogue, then you need to use paging to switch bars. You can do that with the paging options. Just choose the bar that you want to change it to. My spare bars are 5 through to 9, so in this case I put bear into 9, prowl into 8, cat into 7 and so on. Just make sure that any bars that are being used up top have click-through enabled. Then, in the space below my unit frames, I put my details bars, DPS on the left and threat on the right, and then I use these macros to hide and show the details bar. Another thing I think is ugly is the minimap. To sort this out, I use SexyMap. Just right-click the minimap to open the settings, then click here to lock it if you don't want to move it around. Change it to a square by clicking the clear and start over, and then selecting square. And you can pick a border and a texture here. To clean up all the add-on buttons, I select most of them to never show, and only the ones that I use regularly are set to on hover. And there you have it, the cleanest UI in WoW. Remember, you're still going to need to track all of your cooldowns, so you can use weak auras to display these so that they'll only be on your screen when the spell is actually on cooldown, making things cleaner and really easy to track. If you'd prefer to download my UI and install the files directly to your WoW client, then this is super simple to do. Just follow the link in the description below or go to Barmy's shop in Discord. If you're already a paid member of my Discord, then you can access this download for free. And if you want to become a member of my Discord, you can do so for as little as $3 a month, and there's also a link to this in the description. As well as shop discounts, members also get lots of Discord perks, such as access to Beta 1 button builds, early access to videos, and assistance from me online. For non-members, the price of the UI file is $5, so you may want to consider the membership to get a little discount. The UI files contain all the code you need to emulate my UI, and there are retail, Cataclysm, and classic era options available. Once you've got the folder downloaded, then follow the simple instructions and you're good to go. So have fun setting up and personalising your new UI, and until next time, enjoy your time in Azeroth, and I'll see you in the next one.